Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel, Coffee Tea Paper. My name is Louise and I am back with another journaling related book. This one's I don't really know where to start with this except to say that when I was thinking about purchasing the Laws Guide to Nature Drawing and Journaling, I came across this one as well, but there wasn't really very much information about this book apart from a picture of the cover and a rather limited sort of description about it. However, it was a lot more affordable than the Laws book. So I guess I kind of thought, right, well, maybe this one will be very similar to the Laws book and provide me with the information and inspiration that I'm looking for, but for a more affordable price. Yes, that's right, my friends. I cheaped out. It's not to say that this book is in any way a bad book or disappointing or any of those things. It just wasn't what I was looking for because I was trying to purchase a book like the Laws Guide. Now, I do have a review of that book and a flip through, so if you're not familiar with that one, go and check it out first and then maybe come back to this one so you can kind of see what I'm getting at. This book is a field guide to nature journaling. Now, when I saw this book, I didn't actually read that small print about it being a field guide. I just read nature journaling and I loved all these little black and white doodles on the cover. And I thought, wow, it's like, it's like a travel journaling type thing. And yeah, this'll be meeting my very vague needs. I'm basically just looking for some inspiration and ideas, I guess. This book, it's very small, it's very compact, because what I didn't realize is that this book is designed for you to take out with you when you're hiking. Once again, read the fine print, Louise. Hike and draw guidebooks. I don't do very much hiking, if I'm perfectly honest. The Australian bush is full of interesting and dangerous wildlife. So the last time I went for a bushwalk, I found a giant snake. There were giant scary spiders. I am also not the most observant person when I'm sort of concentrating on my footing, particularly if the trail is wet, muddy, slippery, uneven, because I'm always nervous I'm going to roll an ankle or something like that. And so I don't tend to see the large dangerous creatures until the last minute. I have digressed. So here is the table of contents, introduction, why nature journaling, what is nature journaling, getting started, data collection basics, research ethics, data collection techniques. So you can see once the table of contents kind of changes into this more scientific approach, you can see where this book is headed. Now, it's it's full of these wonderful sketches, all in black and white. It really does, once again, touch on why you would want to keep a journal. But it delves into, well, what is your special area of interest? Are you a hiker, a wilderness guide, a hunter, a bushcrafter, a birder, or a dendrologist? Maybe you're none of the above. It does go on to say that you can have a look at neighborhood bird habitats, insect activity in your garden. There's a bit of chat about recommended materials. Very, very brief overview there. There's some helpful websites, helpful apps. It's very American oriented, so none of the apps, etc., are useful to myself in the southern hemisphere. Though I'm sure there are equivalent ones, but as I already said, I'm no bushwalker. I did purchase this book sort of under the wrong idea of what it was about. But if you do get into it, and it's quite an interesting read about a type of journaling and a type of, I guess, person who keeps a very different journal to that of a creative or art-based or that style of journal. One of my favorite pages, I'll just see if I can find it. Oh, it's not this one. Oh, I will find it, but I really want to do this in my garden, is a snail marking experiment. How many times have you seen the same snail? Dab a small dot on the shell with acrylic paint will help you identify this snail for future sightings. Where does this snail spend most of its time during the day? Where does it go at night? What is its favourite food? And it says just to use, non-toxic acrylic paints in very natural colors, so you don't make it a big target to predators and so forth. And I have a lot of snails in my garden, and they're meant to be a sign of a very healthy garden. And so I am always very careful. I always check behind my car before I reverse, because I don't want to take anyone out, and I'll move them out of harm's way if they're there. But I had never actually thought to explore what they do with their day. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The other thing I found so funny, because journals, they're an endless source of variation. Like, who's to say, or how many journals there are, and styles of journals and types of journals, as there are as people, right? Now, this is not something I had ever thought to include in any of my journals, but this one, know who's poo. And I think it's a wonderful thing, and that it is boiling down to observing the world around you. And it does go on to have different seasonal nature journaling prompts as well. Quite different from the look up, look in meditations on nature that we're doing for our weekly journal prompt in my other sort of series of videos. But really interesting, I have to say. And he has sorry, I forgot to say who the author was. It's written and illustrated by James Samuel Sisti, and there is a bit about the author here. I should have done that first. I'm so sorry. About the author, James Samuel Sisti spent his formative years exploring the natural wonders of Long Island and the Hudson Valley alongside his family, achieving the esteemed rank of Eagle Scout. In 2006, he embarked on a journey to hone his outdoor expertise further, venturing into pursuits such as skiing, ice climbing, scuba diving, and professionally guiding wilderness adventures. When not participating in scientific expeditions or facilitating workshops, he channels his passion for the outdoors into his work as a professional artist. James is a proud New York native, a member of the Explorers Club and the Austrian Alpine Club in the UK. So sorry, I should have said that first up. So he has some other recommended reading, which, as you would expect, a lot of famous naturalists and explorers, Gerald Durrell, Charles Darwin, Through the Brazilian Wilderness by Theodore Roosevelt. He does ask the question, what is keeping you out of nature? Well, I've already gone into that. With living in Australia, you have to be quite prepared. I play golf with some ladies, and they keep snake bandages in their golf bags, and they keep telling me I need to get myself a snake bandage because we do have deadly snakes on our golf courses. We have them in our gardens, and it's definitely on my list of things I need to buy. It can be a bit of a tricky thing to go out into nature in Australia. What I love about this book, so I don't know, I've probably given it a bit of a bad rap here, but what happened is I purchased a book with the wrong expectation because I couldn't find enough information about it to understand that it perhaps wasn't completely relevant to me. However, once I started reading it, there is a lot to enjoy. Even though I am never going to go hiking and data collecting and things like that, it is still a really interesting examination of a branch of journaling that I am not familiar with. I think it still has some interesting ideas. I mean, I love this snail one. Next time I see a snail, I'm running back out with my Posca pen to draw something on him. But I think it's a great one. If you've got kids, you could totally use some of this for your backyard. And I think for boys in particular, I think girls tend to lean strongly into journaling because they enjoy, I know I'm generalizing here, but I think girls have a tendency more to think about their emotions and feelings. Even if they don't talk about them, they will tend to lean into them a bit more in things like journaling. Whereas I think for a lot of boys, it's about giving them a journaling space that makes them feel comfortable and scientific, but it's still a creative outlet. So you could even go through and keep a journal about your backyard or your local park, about identifying plants, identifying birds, seasonal changes, all of those sorts of things without actually going into the bush or the jungle or the forest when it can get a bit scary. See, we don't have cute squirrels. Anyway, just a quick one today, having a look at this. And so if you are a hiker and a journal keeper, you might find this really interesting just because he has ideas and concepts and asks questions and has prompts that I haven't really seen anywhere else. And just even his doodles I find just fascinating, from this beautiful study of a flower to where was it, the poo page, to his meticulous record keeping on different types of poo. And on that note, I am going to leave this book here. I have another, what I would probably refer to as a journaling adjacent book, for myself anyway, that I will share with you next week. But I am getting, believe it or not, I am getting to the end of my journal book collection, until, of course, I find some more that I want to add. So I can see, I mean, I've been bringing these books to you in a series, I think mostly weekly. There's been a couple of gaps here and there as life becomes busy, but this is a series that I'll probably dip back into infrequently as I find more journaling or journaling adjacent books that take my interest that I want to add to my collection and share with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.